Mr. Secretary, happy Friday. Great to see you again.
Happy Friday.
Markets really zeroing in on wage growth. Average hourly earnings up 0.3. Prior was up 6, revised down to 0.4. How important is that to you versus the overall print of jobs being created?
Well, I mean, we're still seeing gains in wages, which is good to see. I think that as we move forward here, certainly watching what we put out as an economic plan, what the president's been talking about, we're seeing strong job growth. We're seeing areas like leisure, hospitality, construction, healthcare, education that had great gains this month. So, you know, it's a good, strong report across the board. In the wages, I mean, yeah, there was a little bit of a 0.1% drop year over year from last month, but overall, it's a strong job report for American workers, the American economy.
There was some movement yesterday on immigration, and I wonder whether or not, thinking of the Fed chief a couple of weeks ago at Brookings, talked about just the need we need some workers. Need to get labor force up. We did get a little bit of improvement in this print.
Yeah.
But do we think that the conversation is gaining any traction on bringing a fresh round of workers to the U.S. labor force?
I hope so. I've been saying this for months now. One of, I think, the biggest challenges to our economy is lack of workers and the real need for immigration reform. And I think that hopefully when Congress organizes itself and we get a Congress and a Senate moving forward, I hope they prioritize immigration. I mean, when I talk to businesses all across America, as you do every day, and I've heard you guys talk about this on the show, companies are looking for workers, and immigration reform or immigration is another path for more workers. And I think that, you know, as a country, we've always depended on immigrants in our workforce. And over the last couple of years, we've seen those numbers go down, dwindle. We saw an increase last year of immigrants coming into the country, going to work. But that is really a big part of our economy.
Mr. Secretary, good to see you. One of the things that I think that you can touch on here, just to follow up on what you just said, is there are specific areas where we really don't have enough people. We do not have enough engineers. That's probably the area that we're most short of. Is there a way to make it so that we can help retrain people to be engineers?
Well, I think that there definitely is, but engineering, depending on what you are. I was down in Oklahoma with Congressman Cole a few months ago at Tinker Air Force Base, and they were talking about the need over the next couple of years to hire 3,000 engineers in that facility. And what they told me was they'll get about half of those from the University of Oklahoma and those colleges in the area, but they have to recruit other people in. And then they're in competition with other tech companies that have the ability to pay more money. So it really is, we can do that, and we're doing it with cybersecurity when we created an apprentice program. We have about 7,700 people right now in an apprenticeship program. We really have to think about, in these specialty areas, whether it's whatever area it might be, whether it's finance, whether it's tech, whether it's engineering, really doubling down on apprenticeship programs. I think that is the plan forward that we have to do. You look at countries in Europe that do this every day. They do apprenticeships brilliantly. They get young people exposed to these different industries at a younger age. We have to do more of that. Last year we invested over $300 million in apprenticeship, and this year we have to do more than that.